Wall Street Journal gets hit with fake news. You've got a mob of socialists freaking out and destroying a retail store over a hoodie that H&M put out. We'll be covering that. More crap hole, I guess you could say, backlash that really is just making the left look bad again, just like everything else. It just continues to make the left look bad. Senator Snowflake, that's Jeff Flake, compares Trump to Stalin. You can't make that kind of stuff up. You've got liberal judges trying to overrule the mandate from the American people, and they continue to process DACA renewal. So all kinds of news, other news that we're going to be covering today, all kinds of video clips. The Democrats keep calling Trump a racist, even though, I mean, it's just like, why do I even have to cover this? These people are insane. And yet they say Trump is mentally unfit. But here's what the focus of today's show is going to be about. Obviously, the big news over the weekend was the false alarm in Hawaii, where the emergency alert system sends out a message saying there's an incoming ballistic missile. It was fake news. They're trying to make light of this. Oh, someone just pushed the wrong button. Yes, it was just an innocent mistake. Well, no, that's not really possible. There's so much, well, like backups and different buttons you have to, I mean, this is a very complex system. It was definitely not a mistake. That's what they're trying to say. And of course, if you listen to Alex Jones last night on the Fireside Chat, he was breaking it all down. A deep state, another coup against President Trump with the fake alert of an incoming ballistic missile. But I predict, just like everything else that's been waged against Trump in the form of fake news, this will once again backlash and backfire on the deep state as an investigation has been launched into what happened. But we're going to open up the phone lines today specifically for callers in Hawaii. If you are from Hawaii and actually experienced this firsthand, 1-877-789-ALEX, 1-877-789-2539. If you're from Hawaii and you experienced the false alarm firsthand, please call in. Let's get your take on it. Here's the video from the news of the crazy scene in Hawaii.
They quite literally crawled into manholes and into basements. People here in Hawaii scared to death, panicked, in fact, over what happened at 8:05. In fact, you don't have to go far to find people that are more than happy to tell you their story because they now feel a sense of relief.
It was horrifying. It came across on our phones that there was a missile that was going to hit and nobody knew what to do. It was absolutely horrifying.
What did you do?
Yeah, and just imagine everyone's phones buzzing at the same time, much like when you get an Amber Alert. There's the people running around when they get their alerts.
20 minutes of my life.
20 minutes long before people. Yeah.
I filled up pails of water and I filled up the bathtub just so we.
Yeah, how about that? It took 30 minutes for them to correct this mistake. Why didn't they, when they sent out the fake message of the ballistic missile, why didn't they immediately send out one saying false alarm? How about that? Think about that. That took 30 minutes.
She said, I want to be here just in case it happens, and it was really sad.
A ballistic missile had been launched. Take cover.
And this is not a hoax.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
A handful of minutes later, it came up.
Okay, so there you go. There's the scenes. There's some of the reports on that. Again, it took them 30 minutes to correct themselves. So today, I want to open up the phone lines to Hawaiians that experienced this firsthand. So we want to go right to your calls to figure out what your experience was like. Do you think this was an effort by the deep state as part of the coup to embarrass President Trump? And what do you think the backlash for this will be should we find out that's the case? Let's start with Mary in Hawaii. Go ahead.
Owen Scheuer.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Hi, Owen. My name is Mary, and I'm calling you from Hilo, Hawaii. And this is a really horrible thing that happened yesterday. I believe that the governor is guilty of Title 50 violation 841 and 842 of the United States Code.
And what's the name of that governor again?
David Ige.
Governor David Ige.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a planned attack. The governor's been having a lot of problems this last week because I've been on them. Somebody served some false foreclosure papers against me in 17-1-0366. So I've been in contact with the U.S. Attorney, and this was their reaction to it. And Tulsi Gabbard, she jumped on there and she blamed Trump. And they were playing chicken. You see, they were trying to start World War III so that Governor Ige could stand up again and be the governor. Right now, his hands are tied.
It's interesting you mentioned Tulsi Gabbard because a couple weeks ago, I've always felt that Tulsi Gabbard was a fair-minded person. Obviously, differing ideologies and politics from me, a conservative. She's obviously a liberal, but I always felt that she was fair. But I felt that last week, after seeing some of her tweets and then seeing some of the things she was saying on TV, and then she goes on Tucker Carlson and she's got this new hairdo that she has literally like a new witch hairdo. It's really strange. I've never thought Tulsi Gabbard was the enemy, but now I'm actually looking at Tulsi Gabbard and I get a weird, strange feeling that she's gone to the dark side.
Well, she's a Hindi. And, she backs what she backs. She's very much the kind of Democrat she is. She's...
But doesn't that just show you, though? See, that's what I'm saying. Doesn't that just show you the reaction from these people like Tulsi Gabbard? Well, this just shows we have to negotiate with North Korea. We needed to, President Trump's the bad guy. Wait a second. President Trump is the one that was negotiating with North Korea. President Trump is the one that got North Korea to the table with South Korea. But that's what I'm saying. See, they project that it's them. That's what they do. They think that they can trick us. Oh, well, this is an innocent mistake. Someone pushed the wrong button, but this is Trump's fault. I mean, we need to use this to go after Trump.
They were playing chicken. They were trying to start World War III.
So you think that if a fair investigation, you think that that's the backlash here? You think that this is a deep state coup playing chicken with North Korea to try to start World War III?
I think it's a Brian Schatz coup. I think it's a Tulsi Gabbard coup. I think it's a Mazie Hirono coup. Yeah, man. You don't have to dig far in the deep state, man. Go look at the Hawaii Supreme Court. You go look at what they're doing right now, man. These people are in panic. These people are in absolute panic, and they can't even sit at their jobs right now. Mayor Harry Kim, Hawaii County, man. I'm telling you, I've been sending letters to Alex Jones, He knows what's going on. And I'm telling you, man, they were playing chicken. They were mad because Trump didn't push the button for them. And she came back and blamed Trump. And if you go back through and you take the timeline, man, these people are jerks, man. Stupid, idiot jerks.
Well, and there's certainly no supporters of President Trump and his agenda. Absolutely. And I think that you're...
They're all going to Gitmo, man. They're just a bunch of stupid race-based idiots.
All right. Great call from Mary in Hawaii. Good stuff.
Aaron, I love you. I love you.
Thank you so much. Great caller there. Mary in Hawaii talking about experiencing that alert. And it'll be interesting to find out if a lot of people in Hawaii feel the same way as her. And you could tell the passion and the lack of patience she has for the leadership down there that has gone fully liberal. But I don't even care. See, that's the thing to me. If you want to have different ideologies and different politics, that's fine. We need that. That's actually what keeps America free from becoming a tyranny, if you want to be perfectly honest. It's that they've gone completely mental, and it's not about liberal ideologies. It's all about removing Trump. It's all about lying to the American public to make Trump look bad. It's not about policy. It's not about common sense. It's not even about reality for these people. 100% full throttle, take Trump out no matter what, even if that means selling your soul out, even if that means having no integrity, even if that means treason, even if that means going against common sense, even if that means going against reality. And that's what Mary is talking about when she calls in and voices her disgust towards the leadership in Hawaii. Absolutely correct. Let's go to Gordon, also calling in from Hawaii. Go ahead, Gordon, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing? This is Gordon, and God bless you guys and all of the info warriors out there.
Why, thank you. You too.
Hey, yeah, yesterday morning was really crazy. My phone just started screaming, emergency alert, and when I read it, I couldn't believe it.
What was it like? Did you were you like, oh my gosh, this is it? Or did you kind of have like an instinctual gut reaction like, wait a second, no?
No, I did not think it was a false alarm.
Wow.
I was absolutely in shock. And I didn't get real scared. I kind of did, I guess. But I went over to the neighbor's house. She hadn't heard about it. And then, boom, her phone went off. And we started figuring out what we were going to do. She's pregnant. And we do have lava tubes around here that you can go into, because I live way out in the country here in Mountain View. And I was just thinking, where's the nearest one? I just moved back to Hawaii 5 months ago.
So you were seeking shelter?
Yes. Yeah, but then after...
And how long did it take y'all to realize that it wasn't the real deal?
Well, after about 10, 15 minutes, I already knew that's about how long it would take to get here, that nothing happened.
Wow. You know what? That's a great point. It took them longer to correct the false alarm than it would have for a missile to hit the island.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. You don't think that was, let me ask you, do you think that was intentional?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What about the entire thing? What about the false alarm? Do you believe that was intentional?
Yes, I do. There's got to be plenty of protocols so that some idiot can't just push a button. And we do have a lot of idiots here. I got to tell you, I can't tell you how many NCR boneheads there are here.
The FCC is launching an investigation into that. We are hearing from the people from Hawaii that had to experience it firsthand. Let's go right back out to the phone lines to Easton, calling in from Hawaii. Easton, what was the experience like for you?
Hey, Owen. It was, I don't know, we had a long night out with the boys the night before, and I had just been woken up by the missile alert. So
you got woken up early in the morning by the alert?
Yeah, it was like 8.
And you're a little foggy from the night before, and then what are you thinking?
Exactly. And, well, I got my armor plates and, my ammunition and everything ready to go. We had, my boys are all calling me on the phone. Oh, my God, it's goddamn Ragnarok. It's Armageddon. It's time, game time. You know what I mean? All the soldiers are out there, all the info warriors. You know what I mean? So was there kind of, this is interesting. I haven't really heard anything like this. Are you saying that there was kind of a preparedness response from people that went into action mode? Yes, sir. There are.
Yeah, we saw some of the videos of the shelters and everything.
There's a certain level of preparedness out here. Definitely ex-military, some of our buddies from high school, that kind of thing.
So what do you think this was? Do you think this was an innocent mistake, or was this part of the deep state coup to make Trump look bad?
For me, within minutes, I was on on Google looking for an InfoWars,
Right, and that's what Alex was saying in the video last night. Everybody was saying, why aren't you covering it? Why aren't you covering it? So we did the live broadcast. But I want to ask you, Easton, do you think that this was part of the deep state? Do you think this was part of a deep state coup to make Trump look bad, or was this an innocent mistake?
Well, the way that they portrayed it on the news when, I don't know exactly what he runs, but the guy, Vern Miyagi, came on and took responsibility for his, his section of the State Department or whatever who's running this was responsible for pressing the wrong button. And they say, it was a non-redundant system, which means you don't need two people to... Yeah,
and our sources are telling us that that's a bunch of BS. But should that even be the case, that he should be fired and investigated immediately.
Immediately, somebody, because people were sending their kids down the storm drains. People were flying it down the highway to go collect their kids from practice as well.
Well, I can't even imagine. I mean, you talk about fake news. I mean, this is the antithesis.
Yeah. My mom was ready to load all the food in the car. My boys are calling me saying I loaded all my crap in the car already, in the truck. All the. So this is another example.
So you agree that this was a conscious effort for whatever the thought process was to make Trump look bad. This was not a mistake.
Yeah, this was definitely something to make the country look weak. make the country look unorganized.
Try to make the country scared, like it's all Trump's fault. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Thank you for the call, Easton. Let's keep it in Hawaii. We're taking callers from Hawaii on the false alarm fake news. Let's go to Ed calling in from Hawaii. Ed, what do you think? Was this part of a deep state coup against President Trump?
Absolutely, Owen. Absolutely. I do think that they basically. So first of all, there's multiple redundancy. When they're stating that there isn't, it's nonsense. When I first saw the excuse that they pressed the wrong button, I actually fell on the floor laughing. I put out a bunch of tweets just talking about how ridiculous that was. And clearly...
Yeah, isn't that amazing that they think that the public is so stupid that they would fall for that?
Yeah, no, they do actually do think...
Oh, there's just it was just a button. We just hit the wrong button. Oh, okay. No.
The response from social media was actually outstanding. I'm very proud of people on social media for realizing how ridiculous the excuse
Yeah, you know
was.
what? Exactly, Ed. You're not pulling the wool over America's eyes anymore. The deep state is exposing themselves, man. They are going full throttle. They don't even care if they do it so obvious. They don't even care if they're so obvious in their coup against Trump, in their fake news. This is unbelievable.
Now, the person that they're going to trot out, the civil employee they're going to trot out as the person who, quote unquote, pushed the button, is who's going to potentially cop to this lie. We need to investigate his bank accounts, potential offshore bank accounts, because that's where we are in our country right now.
Yeah, and that's not the FCC's purview. So the FCC can do their investigation, but I don't see how the FCC gets bank account records.
No, they won't. So what we need is 8chan and 4chan to focus like a laser beam on the supposed button pusher and find out everything that we can from public records about this person. This is where we are in our country. Whenever a patsy is put forth, you must investigate.
Isn't that amazing? Just like the Vegas shooting that we're going to be covering more in the second hour today. Laura Loomer is going to be joining me to talk about the recent developments there. Yeah, just like the Las Vegas shooting where the FBI gives us nothing. If it wasn't for independent researchers on the internet, we wouldn't know anything about Stephen Paddock. In fact, independent researchers on the internet forced the police and the FBI to change their narrative, including Laura Loomer. So we're going to be talking about that later. But it's the same thing with this deal. Oh, we just had someone push the button. Oh, just believe that. No, we're not idiots. That's a lie. Okay, well, here's our sacrificial lamb. Here's the guy to blame. Let's get the FCC will investigate that. Well, let's get the FCC, let's get the CIA, let's get the FBI, let's get the IRS. Let's figure out what was really behind this.
Absolutely, Owen. And I want to make a shout out to all Hawaiian residents that I actually, in all honesty, did not react at all to the alarm because I'd already looked into, I live on Maui, so I looked into the effects of a bomb blast in Honolulu or, Pearl Harbor, because that's the military target. There's no targets on Maui. And there's actually a website that you can go and see what the blast radius of the biggest bomb known to man. It's called the Russian Tsar bomb. Maui's 119 miles away from Honolulu. It wouldn't even come close. So even if this was real, I didn't react. I finished eating my breakfast in the restaurant, drove home. People were flying by me at 100 miles an hour, and my heart rate didn't skip. So that's the power of information. You need to know.
Yeah, and I also believe, too, that you just have a gut instinct when you see something like that. Your gut, if there was I don't know. I believe that there is an extra spiritual, metaphysical thing. If there was actually a missile coming down on you, you would feel it in your gut. I really do believe that.
I didn't feel it at all, Owen. With the knowledge of the fact that I knew the bomb radius wouldn't come anywhere close to Maui, and to be quite honest, I didn't believe it was actually a real threat.
And I just want to be clear. I'm not in no way, shape, or form am I trying to insult someone that was freaking out, because trust me, you get that alert on your phone. You got a family, you got kids, absolutely you have every right to freak out. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know. I just really feel like I'm in tune with the force right now, if you will. And I think that most Americans are now getting in tune with that, and they would feel it. You would feel that.
Yeah, Owen, I'm a very high informational person, so like yourself, if you were here with me, you wouldn't have freaked out either. But,
hey, let me ask you a question. The crew is actually wondering this, and this is a good question because I haven't heard it addressed. Were there actually sounds of alarms going off, like bomb raid sirens going off?
Nope. There were no raid sirens at all. In fact, Maui has a system. They test it the first of every month. I hear the sirens at noon. The first of every month, no sirens. Nothing went off here.
Wow. So that means that that's probably a separation of communication there between whoever has those sirens, their hand on that button, if you will, and then the button on the emergency alert system. So obviously they weren't coordinated. So this was clearly, to me, and all of our callers from Hawaii would agree, this is a deep state coup against President Trump. Our sources were telling Alex Jones the same thing last night. He did a live broadcast on the Alex Jones channel. This is just yet another attempt of the deep state coup against President Trump to make him look bad.
Introducing FloraLife, the new probiotic line developed exclusively by InfoWars Life after years of research on the human microbiome. Not all probiotics are made the same. FloraLife probiotics use a unique targeted delivery system that bypasses the stomach and releases directly into the intestines for maximum effect. This is critical because stomach acid kills most probiotics. So if you don't have a targeted delivery probiotic, then you're cheating your gut health and your wallet. FloraLife supports your body's core where you need it most, including digestion, regularity, immunity, the gut lining, and metabolism. Did you know that over 80% of your immune system is located in your gut? That's why increasing gut probiotic levels is so important for overall health. FloraLife is sold as a 15 billion probiotic for everyday maintenance care and a 50 billion probiotic for a 30-day advanced gut restoration program. Head to InfoWarsLife.com to pick up your bottle of FloraLife probiotics today. That's InfoWarsLife.com.